Blogging is hard and it can be stressful. If you've been thinking about starting a blog, or if you already have a blog and you're trying to go full time with it, you are in for a wild ride. There are a lot of people out there that will tell you that blogging isn't a real job. They'll tell you it's not viable, you can't make money doing it, and you need to quit and get a real job. Anyone who has ever said that has obviously never blogged before, because doing this is not easy and it is most certainly a real job. I've been blogging for about 5 years now, and I have been doing full-time blogging for over a year. And in today's video, I want to give you some of the harsh truths of blogging. Things that you may not know and things that you want to be prepared for if you plan to go full-time with your blog. The first thing is the starting phases. That is going to be the hardest part of your blog. You have so many things to learn and so many mistakes to make when you first get started. Where you should host your website and the technical aspects of it, what to write about, how to write a good blog post, and learning social media. You are going to have a huge learning curve when you first start. And it's going to be hard to learn it all and stay on track at the same time. There is a lot that gets thrown at you in the beginning, and not to mention, no one will know who you are. And to be honest, no one will really care who you are either. People have got no reason to trust you, read anything you put out online, or follow you. And it's nothing against you personally, because we all start out online the exact same way. No one knew or cared who I was before I started making content. So your job is to make them care. Put out valuable content that people want to read. Give them insight on an issue or problem that they need help with, and make them want to follow you. And then once you have an audience, build a relationship with them. You have to give people a reason to listen to you and then like you and then follow you. That's when you'll start to get noticed and grow. Speaking of growing, that's another difficult thing to do in the beginning. You're going to be writing your butt off, promoting like crazy, and you're likely going to be hearing crickets for a while. It takes forever to get people to start seeing your blog posts, and there's a few reasons for that. The first thing is followers. You won't have any of them. So there'll be no one to see the content that you're promoting in the first place. But the catch is you need to post your content to give people a reason to follow you, so that more people can follow you, so that more people will see your content. It's an uphill battle. And then there's the content itself. You may be posting about things that nobody cares about. If no one's interested in the content that you're posting, no one is going to read it anyway. Or you may be posting the right content, but you're promoting it in a way that's boring and doesn't catch anybody's eye. Or even still, people are seeing your content, but once they get to it and they read it, they find out that it's not very good, which is going to happen to a new blogger. It happens to all of us. Your first blog post and early content is going to suck. You might not be good at storytelling or writing or catching people's attention, which is just one of the harsh truths about starting a blog. If you've never really written a story before, or something that's got to convey information in an interesting way like a blog post, your writing may suck at first. That doesn't mean that you give up though. You have to keep practicing. You have to keep writing and you will get better. Because it happens to all of us. If you don't look back at a blog post that you wrote 1 or 2 years ago and cringe, you're doing something wrong. And if you don't believe me, check out some of the old videos that I have right here on this channel. I absolutely hate them. They are super cringe and they're super terrible. But that is just proof that I have grown because I kept posting content even when I was really bad at it. And I do the same with blog posts too. They're pretty awful. One of the things that you're going to be experiencing a lot along this blogging journey is you're going to want to quit. Quitting sounds like the easier option, and it is, but it's going to get you nowhere. You're going to be overwhelmed with all the tasks that you have to do, annoyed when something goes wrong or when the growth is slow on your blog, and you're going to want to quit. There's nothing easy about this job, and there's probably a lot more work behind the scenes that you don't even realize. You may think blogging is just writing posts and promoting them, but there is so much more that goes into this business, especially if you're a full-time blogger like me. Let me give you a rundown of some of the things that I try and juggle. First, there's writing content, which includes researching that content and promoting it. You may choose to have an email list upkeep where you'll have to be creating freebies, sending out weekly emails, and you also have to handle your business email as well. And then there's social media, when you aren't just promoting, but you're also interacting with followers, answering DMs, and everything else that goes along with social media. You can work with brands, which is a side of the business I haven't even touched yet, or you can work with clients, which is what I do. And you can also create products that are going to be making you money. In fact, the smallest portion of your time is actually going to be used to create content. Most of your time is going to be spent with back-end admin tasks and promoting the content that you've already put out. And trying to juggle all of these things can get overwhelming and make you want to quit. But probably the harshest truth about blogging is you won't be making money very quickly. It can take months, but more likely it's going to take at least a year before you start to see any income at all. It took me a long time before I started making money, and even longer before I started making money that was actually worth getting excited about. You'll see a lot of content on Pinterest about how bloggers made a full-time income within 6 months of starting their blog, and that is a super unrealistic picture of starting a blog, and honestly, I have no idea how they did it. Within 6 months of starting my blog, I was absolutely nowhere near ready to start making money. At that point, I still had no idea what I was even doing. So be prepared to work a lot with little reward. One of the things that I still struggle with is managing my time. When you're blogging on your own, you set your own deadlines and you keep yourself accountable. And if something doesn't get done, it's your fault. You don't have a boss telling you what to do, how to do it, or when to do it, which can be a blessing, but also a curse. If you're not good at self-discipline, you're gonna have a really hard time as a blogger. Especially when you work full-time at another job and you have other obligations, blogging can really quickly get pushed to the back burner. So you have to manage your time well. On top of that, simply knowing what to do next is hard. There isn't a one-size-fits-all blogging journey. So you can look up courses and get advice from people, but sometimes it just isn't helpful. You can learn a bunch of things, but hearing about someone else doing it and applying it to your own blog and situation is a totally different thing. Plus, since everyone can do everything so differently, so many voices in your head can actually make it confusing. One blog can tell you to do one thing, and the other blog is going to tell you to do the exact opposite thing, because something different is going to work for everybody. You'll end up spending a lot of time scratching your head, wondering what project to work on next, figuring out what's most important, and what can wait. A few of the hardest things about blogging is simply just the mindset aspect of the whole business. Discipline in your ability to work, learning everything you need to learn, and most importantly, imposter syndrome. Since as bloggers, we spend a lot of time on social media for our jobs, we also have a lot of time to look and see what everybody else is doing. We can see when people are posting their wins, when their followers are growing, and we can compare it to our very own journey. You're gonna have a lot of doubts and a lot of time to compare yourself online to people who are doing the exact same thing as you. People who started before you but are growing faster than you, others who hit an income milestone, or sold out a product when you can't make a single sale. And it sucks to see everyone else winning when you feel like it's not happening for you. But if you really want this to work, you have to keep pushing. Unfollow those people that you're comparing yourself to, even if it's just for a little while. You need to protect your mental health and your peace online. You don't want to compare your story to the person next to you. You don't know their background, how hard they work, or even where they got started. And people don't tend to post their losses on social media. So maybe you see that somebody accepted their first brand deal, but you didn't see the 20 rejections that it took for them to get there. This video kind of really paints a negative picture on blogging, but it really isn't all bad. It is my favorite job in the world, and I wouldn't want to be doing anything else. Despite how hard everything can be, I do not regret starting this journey, and in the end, it was all worth it. The one thing that I do know is blogging is not for everyone. It takes a special person to tough this out and make money online. So if you think that this journey is for you, I'm proud of you. Whether you feel like you are making it or not, I'm proud of you for even trying, because this is not an easy job. Comment below how you feel about blogging. Have you started yet, or what stage of blogging are you in? I would love to hear your stories and connect down below in the comment section. And if you like this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel down below if you're new here. And I'll see you next week. Bye!